IT for easy life. 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 IT for easy life.
Institut Teknologi dan Bisnis Stikom Bali, always the first. Inilah negeriku Indonesia. Beragam adat istiadat diwariskan dari generasi ke generasi. Dari Sabang sampai Merauke. Beragam pula impian putra-putri Indonesia untuk memajukan negeri. 19 tahun turut mewujudkan mimpi generasi bangsa. Institut Teknologi dan Bisnis Stikom Bali tak henti melahirkan inovasi, memberikan bekal pendidikan terbaik di bidang teknologi informasi, manajemen, hingga pariwisata, serta program dual degree nasional dan internasional untuk melahirkan insan-insan muda yang siap memasuki dunia industri maupun menjadi job creator. Pilih jurusan sesuai passionmu dan wujudkan cita-citamu bersama Stikom Bali. Institut Teknologi dan Bisnis Stikom Bali, always the first.
ITB Stikom Bali, in collaboration with Help University Malaysia, provides the International Dual Degree Program, aiming to produce graduates with knowledge in the field of information and technology. In order to compete globally in Society 5.0, we create the entrepreneurial force that can solve technological problems in a global perspective. We provide our students with complete facilities to support their study, including adequate laboratory and classes with teachers from abroad. Our job is to help students achieve the goal of becoming an expert in their respective fields. Join our international dual degree program here at the Institute of Technology and Business of Stikom Bali. ITB Stikom Bali, always the first.
Kuliah di mana dong? Kuliah di mana dong? Stikom Bali, Stikom Bali. Kuliah di mana dong? Stikom Bali, Stikom Bali. Kuliah di mana dong?
Come to AU.
Gloria from America.
This is the best tea ever you will have.
What is it called?
This is my secret mix.
The Bedouin tea.
Inilah negeriku Indonesia. Beragam adat istiadat diwariskan dari generasi ke generasi. Dari Sabang sampai Merauke. Beragam pula impian putra-putri Indonesia untuk memajukan negeri. 19 tahun turut mewujudkan mimpi generasi bangsa. Institut Teknologi dan Bisnis Stikom Bali tak henti melahirkan inovasi, memberikan bekal pendidikan terbaik di bidang teknologi informasi, manajemen, hingga pariwisata, serta program dual degree nasional dan internasional untuk melahirkan insan-insan muda yang siap memasuki dunia industri maupun menjadi job creator. Pilih jurusan sesuai passionmu dan wujudkan cita-citamu bersama Stikom Bali. Institut Teknologi dan Bisnis Stikom Bali, always the first.
I never knew what it was like to have more than $100 in my bank account for many years. When I think about how I survived, I could stretch 20 euros for a week. And there were times where I'm like, I was so hungry and my stomach was like growling so hard, I would literally force myself to sleep. When you're asleep, you don't know how hungry you are. I mean, you're knocked out. I would wake up starving, of course, but at least for those like 6-7 hours, I wouldn't be able to think about how hungry I was. My name is Glo, and I'm a travel blogger. I've been to almost 80 countries across 6 continents, and I am a creator. I'm first generation American to 2 Nigerian parents. And I think with a lot of us immigrants, travel was something you did for survival or to visit family. Leisure travel isn't really something that's a thing in our culture. So travel was never something that was like accessible to me or something that I thought would be a part of my day-to-day life. We have a joke that like when Nigerian moms are pregnant, people ask them like, oh, what are you having? Like a boy or girl? And they say, a doctor. I'm having a doctor. They determine like what they want you to be before you have a chance to even like start walking. It's like doctor, lawyer, or disappointment. So for the most part, like I was like, oh, being a doctor sounds cool. Like it doesn't seem that bad. You know, my mom's always talked it up. So I was like, oh, okay, my mom wants me to be a doctor. Like, cool, done. Until I took biochem, until I went to college as a pre-med major and realized it's one thing to do hard work. It's another thing to do hard work that doesn't excite you or interest you in the slightest. There was just nothing about it that was even remotely interesting or satisfying. And I was like, this cannot be my life. And I broke down in the bathroom just crying after another failed test. I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I don't want any of this. And I finally go to my counselor, like crying, like, I don't want to do this. Like, she's like, oh, just change your major. I'm like, no, my mom, I can't. I end up creating an interdisciplinary major with arts and mass media. I was able to study abroad. That was like my first trip outside of the country, really. I always knew that I was very expressive. I wasn't very talented when it came to like artistry or anything like that. So I knew that my words were going to be my talent. So when I first started traveling in 2012, it made sense to just make a travel blog. My biggest hope or dream when I first started travel blogging, it started off as free travel. And then it was like, okay, get paid to travel. And then it was like, okay, hit 6 figures with my paid travel jobs. Multiple times. I mean, Montenegro, Croatia, Berlin. I remember being down to my last like $10. That was my frame of reference when it came to money because I never had much of it. But I was also so privileged and so happy to just be in another country and meeting all these amazing people that my lack of funds was an afterthought. It's like I was rich in memories and rich in experiences that if I had $5 in my pocket, like that didn't dampen my day because I was like, I'm watching the sunset over, you know, River Seine in Paris, like I'll be okay. The more I just shared my struggles, the quicker the audience came. I really just talked about negative travel experiences, how I was failing as a travel blogger, things that I was learning for the first time. And all of a sudden, these people were like, whoa, Glo, no one's talking about this. Thank you. And you know, my articles go viral, get shared thousands of times, translated in multiple languages and syndicated on other like online media. And I'm like, what? I think that was one of the biggest ways I like overcame all of the doubt and the unknown. I let people into my struggle and into my journey. I wasn't afraid to share the process. And I was in Jamaica last year when I realized my blog hit 6 figures and I still wasn't happy. And I was waking up, waiting for that moment to like hit me like, you did it. Like finally, like, can you believe it? All this work. And for 3 weeks, it just never came. And so I fell into depression. I was like, why don't I feel that thing yet? And I realized I'd been building up this life like for myself, but it felt devoid of purpose because I wasn't helping anyone else. What good is building up a life for yourself if you're not able to help other people do the same thing? And I always say the dream is getting paid to do what you love, but the legacy is built by teaching others how you got there. So now I teach the Blog Like a Boss course, which has been an incredible journey to transition into like an online course creator. It's crazy how life works. When you help other people reach their goals, you in turn reach all of yours. I just hit $500,000 in revenue this year between like my book, retreats, courses, travel blog work, social media influencing work, brand collab work. Sometimes I look at figures that I'm like, I never would have thought like this would ever be attached to my name. And it's such a great feeling, not because of the number itself, but because you know the story and the process and the journey behind it. To be able to make a living doing what I love is one of the most incredible and humbling feelings in the world. This wasn't always possible, so I think it's such a privilege and an honor to be able to turn your passion into a paycheck. To any creatives who have strict parents or parents that want them to live a very specific life, you will literally drive yourself insane trying to please them. Understand that your life is no one else's but your own. They might be disappointed temporarily or discouraged, but as long as you're doing something that makes you happy, you can't put a price on that. Please don't give up on yourself. Please don't try to live someone else's life. You are not an extension of what your parents or cousins or aunts or uncles couldn't do with their life. You owe it to yourself to chase your dreams.
I was standing outside waiting for you. You were always taking time, baby, playing it through. I was calling out your name, with my eyes on the wall. You were running like a ghost from me. You were running from it all. You got me waiting. You got me waiting, my desire. Keep on moving to the purpose now, to the ending of the ocean. Keep on moving to the purpose now, to the ending of the ocean. You've been playing my mind lately, turn it around. Once I thought you were mine, baby, we're safe and sound. You got me waiting, I'm on fire. You got me waiting, my desire. I follow your heartbeat. Keep on moving to the purpose now, to the ending of the ocean. Keep on moving to the purpose now, to the ending. I follow your heartbeat away, away, away. I follow your heartbeat away.
Hello, Stickcomers! Selamat siang, good afternoon, wherever you are. I'm Andre Maure here, and I'm the host of today's podcast, Obrolan Stickcomers. Are you guys ready? Woo! Woo! Wonderful! I'm so excited. Well, today's podcast will be on the magic of digital marketing. And for those who don't know me, I'm Andre Maure. I used to be one of the English lecturers here at Stickom Bali back in 2008 to 2014.
Wow.
It's been a while. And today I'm super excited because I'm joined by our very special guest all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, the United States of America, Miss Glo Atenmo, Gloria Atenmo. Welcome to Stickom Bali.
Hello, Stickomers. Selamat siang. It's so good to be here. We're very excited to talk today.
Oh, right. Yeah.
About the magic of marketing.
This is, yay. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much to the rector of ITV, Mr. Dadang Hermawan, and also special thanks to the Dean of Business and Vocation Faculty, Miss Ari Jayanti, and our wonderful Head of Business Digital Department, Miss Deryani, and all the team members who have been working hard behind the scenes to make today's podcast happen.
Yes.
Well, Stickom Bali feels like home to me, Glo.
Oh.
It's the place where I continued and progressed my English teaching career in Bali after I moved from Malang, East Java,
Wow.
back in 2006.
Wow.
So, borrowing the Indonesian term that Barack Obama used
Yes.
once when he visited Indonesia after he became the US president,
Yes.
he said, "Pulang kampung nih."
Pulang kampung nih.
Yeah, so it's like coming home again, and that's exactly what I'm feeling today. Well,
Incredible.
yeah, and now everyone, as you've seen from the videos that we showed at the beginning of this podcast, probably you've known a little bit about who Glo Atenmo is, but now please let me introduce her officially. So Gloria Atenmo is a digital marketer and content creator with a degree in marketing, communications, and design. After venturing to over 90 countries across 6 continents and working with dozens of brands along the way, she's landed features in Forbes, Oprah magazines, Condé Nast, Essence, BBC, Business Insider, BuzzFeed, and many more. Wow, this is so exciting, and then I'm truly honored to be the moderator of today's podcast. And for more information, she's authored a book and spoken on dozens of stages and hosted retreats and summits around the world.
Yes.
And now focuses on meaningful storytelling, impact, and digital education.
Yes.
She has a podcast called The Glo Show.
The Glo Show.
And founded the Social Educators Academy,
Yes.
where she teaches entrepreneurs how to make a difference and a living online.
Yes.
And in the next 10 years, she hopes to speak 7 languages, and one of them is
Bahasa
Indonesia. All right,
Yes.
yeah. And in today's podcast, there are 3 important things that our wonderful guest speaker is going to share with you all today.
Yes.
First, he'll be talking about how digital marketing works, specifically how marketing works. Then
Yes.
he'll be talking about social media, including Instagram and TikTok. And more importantly, she'll be talking about the future of the digital marketing. And she'll be sharing some useful tips on how we can create magic in our marketing. And of course, she'll also be giving us the magic formula of digital marketing. So if you guys have any questions, Please feel free to type your questions in the chat on Zoom or on YouTube, so I can read and then Glo can answer your questions later.
Yes.
All right, so now without further ado, let's give the screen to our wonderful speaker, Glo Atenmo.
Oh, Andre Mator Suksmaya, thank you so much
Suksma
for
Mawali.
the incredible introduction. Stickomers, I am so excited to be here to talk to you all about the magic of digital marketing and most importantly, the future of marketing as well. I think most of us understand the power of the internet. It's through the internet that we're able to connect and spread our message across the world. It is so important, it is so powerful, it is so beautiful, the era that we live in where we get to use the internet to spread our message forward. So I'm excited to share my presentation and talk to you all about what we're going to be learning regarding the magic of digital marketing. And Andre, as I'm talking about this, if you have any questions that you would like to ask me, feel free to jump in. But we can kind of go back and forth with what we're doing.
Yes.
So I'm going to cover some social media ideas, some trends, and of course, the future of online marketing. So first and foremost, how does marketing work? I think a lot of us don't really understand the power that we have when we post a message online. Now, marketing, to me, is all about influence. So when you have influence, and when you understand influence, you're able to realize that when you post something, you are making yourself an expert. Every time either yourself or your company is posting a message online, people are increasing their respect for you. Your credibility and your authority goes up every time you post. So you want to ask yourself these 3 questions. How are you an expert? And what makes people listen to you? And then why do people come to you for questions? So when I was on my journey of traveling as a solo female traveler, I took my first international trip when I was 22. I got my degree and I said, bye mom, I'm leaving America. And my parents are from Nigeria. I don't know if many of you have any Nigerian friends, but I speak about this a lot sometimes when you have an immigrant culture or an immigrant family. My parents came to America Suricat. They came to America when I wasn't even born yet. And I have 5 brothers and sisters. So we're a family of 8, very big family. And so my mom was like, okay, Gloria, you can be a doctor or you can be a lawyer. And I was like, I don't want to do either of that. You want to make your parents proud, but I was like, being a doctor or a lawyer doesn't make me happy. And I was 11 years old when they brought computers into our classroom. And I started to see the power of the internet and storytelling, and pretty soon marketing. And so in many Nigerian cultures, you're a doctor, a lawyer, or a disappointment. So I'm still currently a disappointment to my mother, but it's okay because I'm proud of myself and what I'm able to do to share the power of marketing and influence. So what is marketing? It is all about influence. And many of us have seen influencers. Many of us understand how influencers work. But essentially, when you post a message online, you are trying to get someone to change their behavior or to do a certain behavior. Marketing is all about inspiring action. If I am trying to market my product or market my service, I am trying to make someone do an action. So as you're posting online, as you're posting on social media, you want to be asking yourself, what am I doing to increase my influence and to get people to do things that add to my brand credibility? Okay, now I want to talk about social media trends to avoid.
Yes, this is what we're looking forward to hearing from you.
Okay,
Yeah.
and does everyone have social media? Does everyone use social media? You could type a 1 in the chat if you love social media. Type a 2 in the chat if you hate social media? I'm very
Yeah.
curious.
Everyone, if you're on Zoom, please type 1 if you have social media, and type 2 in the chat if you hate social media. Wow, let's look at the answers. Mostly
Okay,
1. I haven't
okay.
seen 2. Perfect. They're all like me. Oh, there's 1 too. Niwayan Prasasti Chaya Dewi. Okay, you hate social media.
Niwayan
Okay.
Prasasti.
All right. And
That's funny.
others, yeah, they choose 1. They love using social media.
And let me ask you, Andre, where do you stand? Do you love or hate social media?
I do love social media. I like posting things because I
Photo,
selfie, and I think it's very important for not only for personal branding, but it's about sending the message and also about educating others through things and inspiring others as well. So that's how I use social media, and more importantly, to connect with my friends who not only come from all over Indonesia, from Bali, but also from abroad.
Yes, I agree. I agree. So let's talk about some social media trends that you might want to avoid. Again, when it comes to digital marketing, you are trying to get people to increase their respect for you and understand what your brand or personal mission is about. So the first social media trend that I encourage you to avoid is being flashy, meaning showing so many things that you're making the audience overwhelmed and potentially confused. We have this thing called digital whiplash, and maybe it's the first time you're hearing this term. What it means is that when someone comes to your page or to your website, there's so many things and it's so confusing that their neck is like this. And it makes their neck hurt.
We say bingong in Bahasa. yeah. What are you looking at? Yeah. So many things. Yeah.
Digital whiplash. It's something that you want to avoid because I know many of us have many passions, and maybe we want to talk about our kids and food, nasi goreng, which is my favorite.
Sate ayam.
Sate ayam. Babi guling. I've had it so many times now.
Yes.
But we have all of these things that we want to talk about, but you want to make sure on social media you're focusing your message so that you're not confusing your audience.
Very important, yeah. It's like being focused on one specific thing, you said?
Yes,
Perfect.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The second thing you want to try to avoid is being fake. So sometimes we do things because we think it's cool or we've seen somebody else do it. But when you're trying to fake who you are, people can see that and they can tell, and they start to not trust you. When you're fake, you're not staying true to your brand or to your voice. Now, Andre, if I were to come to you, let's say I'm vegetarian, and I came on this podcast and I'm like, Babi guling is the best. And it's like online, I post that I'm vegetarian and I'm telling you that I eat pork. And it's
not telling the truth.
Yes. Yeah. But maybe some people want to sound cool, so they say something that's a lie, or they fake the messaging, and that's not good. Even though sometimes saying the popular thing will get you followers and likes, you need to stay true to your voice and to your messaging.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah.
Another social media trend to avoid is trying to be too fast. Now, a lot of times, if you have an important message, it will take time for people to hear it and for people to listen. Now, the way Instagram is going, and I don't know if you all have recognized this, but Instagram Reels, the founder of Instagram is saying that he wants Instagram to be a video platform, meaning that if you're not posting videos under 10 seconds, maybe your audience isn't going to see as many of your posts. And that can be a little bit discouraging and like, I don't know. It's sometimes if people love to take photos and they don't want to take videos, it can be a little bit like, I don't want to have to learn a new strategy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I think it's important, if you have an important message, don't rush. Take your time. And even that's something I had to learn as I'm speaking to you now. I'm doing my best to talk slow and take my time.
Yeah.
Because when you have an important message, you shouldn't rush through it. So that's super important.
Wonderful.
And then filtering your content. Now, there are so many filters online on all the platforms. And I want to make sure audio is still okay. It says muted.
Yeah.
Want to continue? Okay. Just in case
Yeah.
we need to pause. Okay. Thumbs up if everyone can hear me. Okay, just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, so filtering your content, you want to make sure that you're not putting too many layers, too many dog ears, too many whiskers, all of that stuff. It can be fun when you're young, but if you're trying to get people to take you more seriously, you have
to look professional. Then yeah.
And to look real. Imagine if you put 3 filters on your face and now you look like a woman. Because you have so you want to make sure that you still look the same online and offline.
Offline. So when people see you, oh, you're different. I thought, yeah, on social media you look like this, and now it's so different. Okay, so okay, avoid filters. Too much filters. It's okay to use once
Exactly.
a while, but not too much. Too many.
Tidak bacik.
Yeah, nggak bagus.
Tidak bagus.
Yeah. Interesting. Wow.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of the key content assets that you should be posting. So basically, asset is a fancy word for key. It's really just saying like important bullet points.
Yeah.
It's things that you should add.
That's right. Or like modal ya. Ini seperti elemen penting. So like important elements, I would say. Yeah.
That's a perfect way to elements. I love that word.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing is value. You want to make sure people are seeing value in what you post, and they need to feel like they're learning from what you're posting, and that their content is being enriched. And Andre, I don't know if there's a page that you follow on Instagram where you're like, wow, I learn every time they post.
As an Indonesian teacher, I follow Ivan Lanin because his posts always show lots of information about the correct use of Bahasa Indonesia. So most of his followers would follow him to learn the correct use of Bahasa Indonesia.
Oh,
so because I teach Bahasa Indonesia online, I think it's something that maybe I can recommend to my students as well. Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of those, I think, Instagram accounts that I follow. Yeah.
Okay, great.
In terms of learning, yeah.
And that's such a great example because I think at the end of the day, like the people that position themselves as educators online, they're gonna win. When we look at the trends of social media, I've been on social media before it was called social media 20 years ago.
Wow.
And I've seen it grow and I've seen the different things come and go.
Yeah.
One thing that stayed consistent is education.
Wow.
If you use your page for education, no matter what happens in the world, you will remain like
on
follow.
Top.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you can find something that you want to share because you're passionate about it, don't think yet about the money or the opportunities.
Yeah.
Think about, I'm passionate about this and I just want to help people.
Yeah. And I love doing this. Yeah.
Yes. Like success is inevitable. Success will be inevitable. It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
If you are an educator and you use social media for education, it's guaranteed.
Nice, yeah.
And then there is a concept called evergreen.
Yeah.
Evergreen content are things that people will search no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter if it's 2050 or 2030, someone will always be searching how to speak English.
Yeah.
There will always be, because people get born every day, people move every day.
They want to travel, like you.
Yes.
You want to learn other languages as well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so Interesting.
That's exactly it. So people will always be searching how to speak English.
Yeah.
And so you want to think about your social media content and your marketing. You want to use words that will always be popular.
Yeah.
Because sometimes with trends, you have words that are like,
Outdated. Can be outdated.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to go with the popular words. Stay with the popular one.
the common words.
Common words. Yeah.
Because if there is, I don't know if there's an Indonesian
Yeah.
word that's like cool right now,
Yeah.
but maybe in 10 years,
10 years later.
no one
Yeah.
will be using it.
That's right.
And so if
Yeah.
you use the cool word in your marketing, it's good right now.
That's right.
In 10 years, no one will find it.
Okay. So use terms that are like timeless.
Timeless.
Yeah,
Yes.
evergreen, timeless.
Evergreen. Yes. I hope you all learned a new word today. Evergreen is a very popular word
For music.
Oh,
Yeah.
evergreen. I was going to say for marketing.
Marketing
In the
too,
US.
and music too.
I love it.
Okay.
I love
yeah.
it. So I'm sure many of you are wondering what makes marketing successful.
I am. I really am.
What do you think? Let's put our host on the spot. What do you all think? And I
Well,
want to see in the chat as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Type
yeah.
some
So
of your
everyone, yeah. So if you know the answer to these questions, please feel free to type your answer. So I think what makes marketing successful is, yeah, it's like how they present the marketing and then how they do and then like represents what the customers need. Yeah. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Let's see in the chat.
Any brave souls?
On what makes marketing successful is when you're able to gather audience and make your product known to the world.
Ooh,
Wow.
Well done.
Gusti Agung
Gusti
Demas.
Agung Demas. Wow.
Kawis Swara. Wow. Thank you very much for the answer.
Great
Very
answer.
cool. Great. Yeah.
I love
Are
that.
you a STICOM student, Gusti Agung, or you're a lecturer? Can you please answer our question? Glow is curious about who you
Yeah,
are.
that's
Yes!
it. Oh, wow. Stick-comers.
Yay! One of the stick-comers. Cool. Maybe another one. Yeah. You
One
wanna
more
share your
brave
answers?
person.
Oh, yeah. This is from Gede Aditya.
The bait.
It's the bait. All right.
That's
wow.
That's good.
Nice.
That's
Anyone else?
good.
Stick-comers?
Wow. I'm impressed. Some smart students.
Yes. This is so interesting.
This is incredible. I love it.
Okay. So
All
what's
right,
your
well,
answer, girl?
I think what makes marketing successful is finding the balance between your brand's message and your audience's needs.
All right. So it's not just the audience needs, but you also have to think of what message of your brand is. Yeah.
Yes. And here's the thing, you could build a business or you can have a company that
Yeah.
only cares about your audience's needs.
Yeah.
And I've done that in the past. And what do you think happens when you only care about your audience and you don't care about yourself
Yeah.
or what you actually
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
You lose the joy.
That's right.
You lose the passion.
That's true.
It's no longer fun because now you're only doing it for them.
Yeah.
And
It's like you're sacrificing yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
a big part of
Yeah.
running a successful company is making sure your heart is still in every aspect of the business. Like you have to enjoy it, you have to love what you do. There are going to be parts that aren't always fun, but you have to find the happy medium. It's what you like really enjoy doing and what your audience needs. If you can come somewhere in the middle, like and
Yeah.
create a market, a product, a service, like in the middle, like that is what really just captures the beauty of marketing. And I see we have Nika Dexia.
Yeah, that's right. Hi.
For me-
Kadek Cynthia.
Cynthia
Cahyani,
Okay. Cahyani. I
Yeah.
love beautiful names. Indonesians have such beautiful names.
Balinese.
Balinese.
That's Balinese.
Balinese names.
Yeah. So Cynthia, are you also STICOM students? What are you studying at STICOM Bali or ITB? Can you type your answer if you can listen to us.
And if you can read
Digital business. Wow, amazing.
Can you read out loud the answer as well?
So this is the answer from Kadek Cynthia Cahyani. For me, what makes marketing successful is when we want to open ourselves to the universe.
Yeah.
And how we are great in marketing or in promoting something
Yeah.
and making the audience stand to us or focus
Yeah.
on something we share.
I love that.
Wonderful.
I love
And then Nilu Putu Larasati, what makes marketing a success, one is when the market targets hit the mark.
that. I love it.
Lovely answer, Luh Putu Larasati.
Yeah.
Also in digital business, Larasati. Yes.
Wow.
All right.
I'm so
Wonderful.
impressed. Matur
Yeah.
suksma.
Matur suksma.
Yeah, mantul, mantul.
Mantul.
I love these answers, and for me, marketing is it's so fun because you always have to learn and evolve and reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
And sometimes it could be very frustrating because it's
True.
like, I spent so much time on this message and no one understands it. And so you feel very like, oh, it was a waste. But no, because your brain is still practicing.
Yeah.
As long as your brain is getting practice with creating messages, creating material,
Yeah.
creating content, you're always going to be learning about marketing.
Lovely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the differences between TikTok and Instagram.
And
Now,
Instagram.
Andre, do you have a favorite? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Instagram.
Okay.
TikTok is only for fun, watching dancing. But I've seen now people also post some educational materials,
Okay.
like learning English, for example. Yeah,
Yes.
and then also for selling stuff
That makes sense.
online, marketing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So what are the differences?
Yeah, well, I would say for marketing, TikTok right now is the trendy platform. Now, I think TikTok is great for exposure because one thing that TikTok does really well
Yeah.
is anyone who starts, let's say you start an Instagram account, brand new, called Andre's English.
Yeah.
Andre's English classes. And then you start a TikTok called Andre's English Classes. Guess which one is going to, let's say you post the same content for 1 month. Which platform do you think is going to grow faster?
I would say TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why TikTok is a great option for people who don't care so much about the Instagram structure or the Instagram politics, if you
Yeah.
want to call it.
Yeah.
TikTok is great for anyone trying to grow and find their market as soon as possible. TikTok has more users, but one thing about TikTok is you do have to be consistent. Trends change rapidly, and I think there's a lot of potential for growth on TikTok. Many brands are starting to do brand deals on that platform as well. So I think there's an opportunity to essentially come together and whatever your message is, figure out a way that you can use both to grow. Now, one thing about Instagram, pros and cons. The cons is that there's a new feature almost every week. And if you follow the head of Instagram, his name is Adam Mosseri. Every week he posts a new video and he says, here are the changes to Instagram this week. That is so overwhelming. Every week, imagine your parents say, every week we have new house rules. It's like, no, now this week, don't do this. This week we're only eating this. It's too much change.
Yeah.
So that's one downside of Instagram.
Yeah.
But it has a complete platform. That is the pro, that's the upside. You can post photography, you can post videos, you can post stories, you can write captions. It's a great way to connect. And most people in the US, the Instagram is their first platform. Like those who have a big audience, Instagram and YouTube are the two platforms where they connect the most with their community.
Yeah.
And then I also think Instagram is going to be around for a while.
Yeah.
If any of you have heard the name Mark Zuckerberg, are you
Yes.
familiar with who's Mark Zuckerberg?
Facebook founder.
Facebook founder. And because Mark Zuckerberg has a lot of money, he bought Instagram. So Mark has a lot of money, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he is probably going to fund Instagram for many years.
It
So
does, yeah.
that's one of the pros of Instagram is it's going to be around for decades.
Yeah.
TikTok, I think in 5 years will maybe be on the downside. So you want to be mindful of that.
I see.
Next thing, and I'm excited to answer some of your questions. I see them in the chat.
There's one from Dian Chandra. Thank you for the
yes.
question,
I
Dian.
can- I can do now or I can do after?
Yeah. Maybe we can, so we won't forget. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there's
of
a
course.
question. What is a good strategy for marketing during a recession?
Yes.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
a beautiful question, Dion. I
Yeah.
would say focus on local. So a lot of times when we are thinking about, okay, let's say your goal before the recession was to market globally, or you had this like big scale vision. Every time there is like a disaster or tragedy or some type of chaos, it's a good opportunity to rewind and go back to the basics. Okay, I've been trying to focus on the US market or the Australian market or this outside market. Let me look actually in my back door. Let me look at my neighbors. Let me look within my community. Where can I first make a change here? And when I was a travel blogger and I was helping other travel bloggers start their blogs and their Instagram pages, a lot of them would say, well, Gloria, I don't have the money to travel yet, so I can't become successful. And I said, you live in India. Thousands of people land there every single day to travel. Become a local expert and become known for that first. We don't always have to focus on what we want to do outside of our country, because you have Bali, as I mentioned. For many people, I consider it one of the top 3 islands in the world. You are living in one of the most beautiful destinations that tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people want to travel to Bali every single year.
Yeah.
Millions. And it's like,
That's true.
many people think, well, I have to look outside for success. It's like so many people are coming
Coming
here.
to Bali, yeah.
How can you make an opportunity out of all the foot traffic of people coming to your home,
That's
your
right.
backyard?
Yeah. And this reminds me of my experience
Yeah.
going abroad.
Yeah,
So when I tell people, when they ask me, "Hi, Andre, where are you from?"
yeah,
If I say I came from Sumba,
yeah.
no one would know where Sumba is. But if I say, "Oh, I worked in Bali before, and I came from Bali," when I continued my studies in Bristol, England,
Yeah.
I would say to my friends, "I came from Bali," and then. Even people who are walking away from me, when they heard Bali, they would come back, "Whoa, Andre, you're from Bali." "Yes, I came from Bali." "Oh, my sister went to Bali last month." And then, "Oh, I'd love to visit Bali." So this is the magnet of Bali.
Yeah.
If you say, like my other friends, "I come from Surabaya, I come from Jakarta." Well, it's not, it's people know that, but when you say Bali, the magnet is different. Yeah, and then you're lucky if you live here in Bali, because travelers around the world. Now we see the traffic is getting crazy, meaning that lots of tourists are
Bali
here in
is
Bali.
back.
Bali is back.
Bali is back.
Yeah. So
Actually, my favorite marketing ad was from Jetstar. They said, "Bali, we missed you."
oh,
And I
so
think
sweet.
This was in Denpasar. Yeah, and it's just
Oh.
like, it's so cute, but that's the beauty of marketing.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's powerful. You can connect emotion with a market and a message.
Yeah.
And when you
Relate.
get,
Touch your heart. Yeah.
exactly. And that is the future. Speaking of, that is the future of digital marketing.
Yeah.
It has emotion.
Yeah.
Now, many of us, we think that our marketing has to be, hello, I would like to sell you my island. If you come to Bali, you can experience this. Whatever your company is, like, you have to focus on connecting at the heart, connecting with their mind, connecting with their soul. So if your content is something that can be duplicated by someone else, it's not strong enough. Your content has to be so unique and so, like, not emotional, but appeal to the senses, so that someone can see your video and say, "I know exactly who made that," even if your name isn't attached to it. people can recognize like, oh, that's one of Glow's videos, because Glow always knows how to bring a story together. And I really think the future of marketing, the future of digital entrepreneurship and digital business is moving towards authenticity. It's moving towards emotion. It's moving towards realness. People don't like being sold, but they like to buy things. You can go to a store, and as soon as someone tells you, oh, can I help you? No, I'm okay. Tidak. But when you see something you like, you buy it. So we love to buy things, but we don't like to feel sold to. So it's important we recognize the distinction.
That's true. Yeah. Anyway, there's another question.
Yes, please.
Yeah. This is from Gede Aditya.
Okay.
Yeah, and his question is how to promote a product to a potential customer without the customer knowing it.
Ooh, good day. Great question. I always love marketing that doesn't feel like marketing.
Wow.
So when you think about promotions, the best promotion is yourself. So if I'm trying to sell these glasses, maybe I have a glasses company, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not going to tell someone, hey, I have a company with glasses. Do you want to try it on, or do you want to buy it? Do you want to look at it? Like, unless I'm at my store, I'm not going to do that. But what I might do, maybe I'm at lunch, and again, I own this company. We're at lunch, we're talking, and I'm wearing it, I'm embodying it, we're taking selfies. And then at the end, I'll say, by the way, this is my company, or this is what I sell. Do you want to try it on? And
yes, of course.
I extend the invitation, and most people are kind. They're like, okay, I won't say no. But when you're thinking of promotions, you don't want to be too aggressive. You don't want to be pushy. You don't want to come across as a salesperson, because the minute people think that you want their money, they close up. So you have to make selling feel like a conversation. You have to make it feel like you genuinely care about more than it's not about the money. It has to be about helping them. So if these are blue light blocking glasses. So if someone works at a laptop for many hours during the day, these are helpful for decreasing migraines and helping people sleep better. So you want to kind of speak to the potential and the pain points and the way that you can serve someone versus how can I get them to buy.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yep.
Very good. Yeah. And I saw a message from Kade Cynthia Chihiani, and it said thank you very much for answering her question earlier. And she's got another question for the future of digital marketing in Bali. How we or Cynthia and her friends as young generation to still keep their local culture while they should follow digital marketing in globalization era with many updated technologies.
That's a great question. And I think your culture can't be duplicated. Like, where you have the advantage is that you're in Bali and you're Indonesian. Someone in California can't pretend to be in Bali. So it's like, what can you use that someone else doesn't have? And so sometimes we think of something as a disadvantage. But if you have the same message as another company, the fact that your company exists in Bali is an advantage. So always be thinking about all the little things that you can use to differentiate or make your company or product or service seem different. Now, when it comes to globalization of the messaging and the marketing, I think you do have to keep up with the trends of typography and I'm going to use the website Canva again because canva.com. I'll type it in the chat because it's a great website. It's free and it's what I use for all of my digital marketing. And I think it's important for everyone to know that these resources exist if you're not confident in your design skills. So I would say in terms of globalization of marketing, you do need to keep up with design because if your design is people can't read it or understand it, they're not going to want to continue to follow and support your company. So
great, thank you. And well, Lou Sarinadi, thank you also for answering the question that Glow asked earlier. And then there's another follow-up question from Chaya Dewi. How to counter an account that pay for followers? Yeah, especially as a business owner. And how to face online toxicity.
Toxicity, okay.
Yeah.
This is, okay,
Why
how to
then?
counter an account that paid for followers, especially as a business owner, and how to face online toxicity. This is so nuanced and beautiful because, my goodness, it's great to know that you all are experiencing something like this because it happens everywhere. I will say this, I started noticing people paying for followers even over 10 years ago. And when I saw it, that was when I realized that integrity matters. And at first I was really annoyed. I was like, I felt, first of all, I think I was a little bit, I don't want to use the word jealous, but I'm going to use it here so you can understand. I was jealous that they found a way to grow faster than me, but my integrity meant too much. And I was like, okay, maybe they're growing faster and people think they're more popular. So I was jealous of that. But I was like, I care about my integrity and I want to do things right. So maybe it's going to take me longer. So I'm not going to associate with that account or that business. And and here's the thing, they earned more money, they were able to get more opportunities, but after a couple years, and their business went bankrupt. They were no longer in business after 2 years. And that's what happens when you maintain integrity. So whichever account you're talking about, they're not going to be around much longer. If they're buying followers, that means the foundation of their business is already corrupt. They're trying to build a villa on straws. It's not going to last. Rainy season will knock away the straws.
That's true. Yeah.
And then online toxicity. It's everywhere. I even have to limit my social media usage because there are so many accounts that are negative. Maybe they're gossip. They promote false hate. It's so bad. You have to make sure you're filtering what you put on your feed. I've unfollowed accounts with no shame. But if you don't want to unfollow someone because they might get mad at you, there's this feature called mute. And you can go to their page and click on the right hand and click mute, and you won't see them on your feed anymore. And at least your mental health is protected a little bit.
That's true. Very good tip. Yes.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to mute Andre pretty soon. I'm just kidding. No, he posts good content.
All right.
I also got a private question. I don't know if I can just jump in there.
Please. Yeah.
So we have Sophia was asking me about, she shares UI and UX design, and she shares in English, not Indonesian, but she saw through her Instagram insights that most of her audience and followers and engagement come from Indonesia and then India next. But the thing is, she wants to reach people outside of the market. So, and that's why she uses English. So she's asking, should she keep her content in English or do something different to make her page grow more rapidly? Now, I have the short answer and the long answer. The short answer
first.
Yes, is the best thing that you can do to grow faster is Reels. Dedicate your entire page to only Reels and keep them under 10 seconds. This is like the TikTok growth strategy, but Instagram is prioritizing people who make 10-second videos. So that is the quickest way to grow. And one thing about the 10-second videos as well, Instagram will auto loop it. Again, there's so many changes that Instagram is making, but now if it's over 10 seconds, Instagram plays it once. If it's under 10 seconds, Instagram plays it twice. So each person, you get 2 views. So you can double your views by keeping your video under 10 seconds.
Yes.
Now
Brilliant.
Yeah, I've been studying this stuff, hey?
Wow. Cool.
The long strategy or the long answer is that you have to develop a content strategy and a format that only caters to one specific demographic of a market. Now, let's say, okay, you're talking about UX and UI design. Let's say you only start to focus on people who are UI, UX designers in, I don't know, in the UK, in London. But you have to figure out a way to say, okay, this is what I want to talk about, but I only want to cater or serve people who live here, or maybe UI, UX designers who have websites about gaming. But you have to specify what you're teaching on, because UI and UX is too broad. There's so many things that you can talk about. The sooner you get more specific, the more people will look to you as an expert in that specific area.
Smart.
Yeah, it's very, I hope I'm not losing you all with these long-winded answers, but I'm such a nerd with marketing. I love this stuff so much.
Responding to your first answer, your short answer, Gusti Agung Demas Kawiswara said, yeah, sneaky.
What's the bahasa Indonesia for sneaky?
Nakal.
Nakal.
Yeah.
Nakal.
Nakal, yeah. Okay. Yeah, but I would say, cerdas, maybe. Yeah, maybe cerdas would describes that better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shall we continue with?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Feel free to type on your questions, but Glow is going to continue with her presentation, and then later we will come back to the Q&A session. So,
Okay, I will go back to sharing my screen.
Yes,
I
please.
believe, is it? Okay, here we go. Making sure everyone is here. So I want to talk a little bit more as well about the behind the scenes of digital marketing. So I think some people don't realize that if you want to go into business working for yourself, I didn't work a 9 to 5. I worked a 9 to 9. Like I was working all day, every day. And sometimes
even more than 12 hours.
More than 12, yes.
Yeah.
And I think some people think digital entrepreneurship and digital business means, okay, I get to take it easy. I can create my own schedule. Yes, but in the beginning, you are working more than anyone else.
Yeah.
And it's important.
Because you're playing all the roles. Yeah. Especially if you're working for yourself. Yeah.
Yes.
You're the manager.
Yes.
You're the staff. You're the operation.
Yes.
Yeah. So everything.
Yes.
You do everything on your own. Yeah.
And I even share some of the hats that I wore. So I was doing the marketing, the writing, the business negotiating, the video editing. I was taking all my own photos. And it's one woman, 7 hats. It's like I had to be the person doing all of these aspects of my business.
Yeah, in bahasa we say satu perempuan dengan 7 peran.
7 peran. Satu perempuan, 7 peran.
peran. Yeah, so one woman with 7 hats in English. Yeah.
And it got very heavy. My neck is still hurting. I'm kidding. From all the hat wearing.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, I was, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, Twitter, Snapchat, like 7 different social media platforms. And here's the secret as well, because while you should be active on all of the social media platforms, you don't need to focus on growing all of them at the same time. Here's what you do. You take 2 at a time every month, and you say, okay, Andre, this month, we're only going to focus on YouTube and Twitter. And now I'm going to build out a content strategy for YouTube. I'm going to spend 1 week only recording YouTube videos, only scripting and editing YouTube videos. And now, let's say in 1 week, I can record, maybe it's 3-minute videos. I record 20 3-minute videos. And now if I post on YouTube once a week, for the next 20 weeks, I have a YouTube video to post.
Wonderful.
And now after I finish that, I'm like, okay, I can go back to Instagram and create a strategy for Instagram. So you want to make sure that you're not burning yourself out by trying to post every single day on every single platform. Maybe you can do that for a week or a month, and then you'll get tired.
You can also use schedule.
Yes, it's very true. There's Planoly. Is there one that's common in Indonesia?
Very good question.
I think Planoly. Later.com is, I think, the most popular one in the U.S. right now.
Yeah.
LATER.com. Yeah, I just dropped in the chat. It's a very common website that people can use for scheduling, planning, social media strategy, and all that stuff. So
interesting.
you have that. And then, of course, the blogging and content creation, finding ways to be consistent and creative with what you're posting.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, I look at content creation like music. And if I'm an artist and I put out an album and it's all of my music is maybe piano, it's ballads, it's slow music, like that's gonna be great. But in 3 years, I can't put out another album of piano, slow music, because people have heard it and they're tired of it.
Right.
So think of your content like music. Every album has to be different. So after a year, look at your company, look at your content, look at what you're doing and say, how can I grow? How can I do something different? How can I improve? And you want to constantly build on the foundation of what you're doing. Cool?
All right. Glow, this question is just out of topic a little bit.
Yes.
I've seen 3 photos of you here.
Oh.
Could you tell us where you are in each of the photos?
Yes. Okay, so on the left, we have Japan.
Oh, di Jepang, So you're wearing kimono. Wow. Cool.
I loved I loved
And what about the second one?
The second one is Cape Town, South Africa.
Wow. It's a country that I'd love to visit. I heard they've got good wines as well.
Yes.
Red wines. And then the south with the ocean.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wonderful. And then you can cycle around town, I heard.
Yes. I'm so I haven't been in 5 years, but I need to get back.
Yeah. And
on the right.
On the right.
We have Namibia, which is just above South Africa.
Is it your favorite? Namibia?
Favorite country in Africa.
Wow.
I actually drove from South Africa to Namibia.
Oh,
it's about a 12-hour drive.
Yeah, you remind me one of my students. She's working for BBC in Bristol, and then she just went to Namibia for filming the wildlife.
Wow.
Yeah. Did you see the wildlife there? Or you're not into wildlife?
I did. I'm trying to remember. It was different than South Africa because they have different wildlife animals.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what I saw in Namibia that was different from South Africa's safari.
Giraffes, maybe?
Only in South Africa.
Oh.
I didn't see them in
Elephants.
Namibia. Elephants, only South Africa. Namibia was
Tigers,
different.
Or
like peacocks. I think I saw
peacocks. Yeah.
And then I saw.
Yeah, we call it burung merak.
Okay.
Burung merak.
Burung merak.
Peacocks.
Okay.
Yeah, beautiful birds.
Yeah.
We do have paradise birds in Papua. It's called cendrawasih.
Wow.
Yeah. Also a bit of culture. Okay.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice.
let's continue. Unless we have a question, I would love to share the magic formula with everyone.
Oh, this is a one question. Yeah, quick question
Yes,
from Gusti.
let's go for it.
Agung Damas Kawiswara again. Talking all those work by yourself can be exhausting. How do you manage your break time and avoid burning out?
Ooh,
very good question.
Yes. Wow. I think of a marathon. When you train for a marathon, I've never trained for a marathon. I hate running. Running is painful and torture.
Yeah.
But if I was a better person and I like to run, I would imagine that I would take it easy. I would build up the stamina. And one day I would maybe run, or I would walk a mile. The next day I would run a mile, but I would slowly build up. So in order to get the energy to talk all of those words and not burn out, I would probably sleep 8 to 9 hours per night. I would maybe turn off all of my phones or turn off all my social media so that I'm not distracted. I would eat a good, healthy breakfast. I would go for a walk, get some sun, but I would do all of this to prepare myself. And then after each video, maybe take a 15, 20-minute break. But again, these videos could be about 3 to 5 minutes long. They don't have to be full hour-long videos
video, yeah.
unless that's your content strategy. But yeah, I've even right now we've been talking for almost an hour,
Yeah.
and I can feel my mouth start to tingle. So it definitely, I mean, it takes practice, and I love speaking though. So I've learned how to like fight through the tingle feelings.
I'm an online Bahasa teacher. I'm in front of the screen all the time with students from Australia,
Yes.
from US,
Yes.
also from England.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, take micro breaks.
Yes.
Yeah, that will help as
Yes.
well. Yeah.
Oh, quickly.
There's another question.
I did see one
Yeah.
from Gusti. The
Gusti,
digital
yeah,
market-
Madhya
okay.
Raditya Adi. Yeah.
Please
So
read.
the question is, which form of digital marketing is better, SEO or PPC?
I imagine because you are in digital business, you know what acronyms they are, but just in case we have
yeah.
someone on the outside looking in,
Yeah. Search
SEO
search
is
engine optimization.
beautiful.
Yes, yeah, and pay per click.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoa!
I'm not an IT guy, but yeah, I teach at an IT school. I used to, so.
Bagus sekali.
Terima
Wow.
kasih, Matur Suksuma.
Yes, it's Mama Wali. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Which one is better?
I personally think SEO. I'm not someone who likes to rely on ads or. Here's the thing about SEO, it's organic. And I believe because Google is the biggest search engine in the world, guess what number 2 is? Do you know by chance? The second largest search platform in the world. What do you think?
After
After Google.
After
You're
Google.
probably on it every other day.
Facebook.
Oh.
No.
Close.
Ooh.
You probably, anytime you want to listen to music, where do you go?
Oh, Spotify.
Ooh,
No.
there's something, you probably go before Spotify.
Oh my god. Yeah. What's
You know
that?
this,
YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry. All right. Yeah. Thank you for the clue. Guys, we've got Tim here behind the scenes. All right. Oh, I feel so bad for not knowing that. I used to know that. No.
Of course,
Just kidding.
no. It's only because we're filming. It's the pressure. It's all of these lights. We're in this big studio.
Okay. Yeah.
And the thing is, Google owns YouTube. So
Yeah.
it's like the two
Yeah.
largest platforms in the
Platforms.
world
Yeah.
is owned by the same company.
That's true.
So given that information, you want to make sure your search engine optimization is
That's
on point.
Yeah.
Because Google and YouTube, I think for the next 50 years,
Yeah.
will continue to dominate the internet. They're only going to
Exactly.
continue to get better.
And that's why Yahoo is dying. Okay, sorry Yahoo. I still have my Yahoo email.
Oh, shame. Shame. Yeah. It will go
Yeah.
bankrupt in 2 years. Sorry, Yahoo.
Okay, yeah. Well, yes, because Google offers everything.
It does.
Yeah, everything.
And that's why I think search engine optimization is such a good strategy because going back to that word, evergreen,
Yeah.
that stuff that people will be searching in 10 years, in 20 years,
Yeah.
how to speak English,
Yeah.
how to market online. These are common words and these are things that people will need no matter what.
Yeah.
So search engine optimization, Gusti, by far, that is a better strategy.
Yeah, not only English, Bahasa Indonesia too.
Of course, me,
Yeah.
that's how I found.
Okay. Next.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Should we?
Yeah.
I just want to share the magic formula, and then we'll
Yes.
jump into all
That's
the
right.
Q&A.
Yeah. So
I'm
this is
here.
what is really, really important, guys. So if you're on a break, if you're doing something else, please stay focused. Get back to the screen. Okay.
Okay.
Off you go.
All right, let's get into it.
Yeah.
When it comes to the magic of digital marketing,
Yeah.
M, motivate your audience to action.
Hmm.
Now, a lot of times people say motivation is cheap, and motivation is like showers. That's why they recommend it daily. Oftentimes, motivation
Wow.
alone, it doesn't do enough.
Yeah.
You need to motivate people to act.
Action.
Motivate people to do something.
Yeah.
Because if you just say, follow your dreams, it's like, okay. And there's
No
nothing.
action.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You need to say, follow your dreams by writing down your goals. And
Yeah.
now they have an action. Okay, I'm going to
Right.
write my goals. So whatever it is that you're trying to do for your personal brand, for your business, for your marketing company, whatever, Yes.
put into writing.
Actual action. Whatever it is, you have to be motivating your audience to action. Okay?
True. Yeah.
Second one is you need to act like a leader. When everyone else is going left, you need to go right.
I agree. Yeah.
Sometimes the easy thing to do is to get caught up in the gossip and the drama of
Yeah.
social media. And that's why, you know, when he mentioned online toxicity, it's everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's something toxic about media, and there's drama, and there's gossip, and these reality TV shows. I don't know how common it is in Indonesia, reality TV, where it's just like fighting and drama.
Yeah.
It's very common in America. So,
I'm not into it.
oh yeah.
I don't watch TV anymore.
So you
Yeah.
want to make sure with your
Yeah.
content,
Yeah.
you're acting like a leader. Whatever it is that you're trying to talk about, still raise your level of just communication and do the extra step that's required to be someone who's like a role model. Because I think that's a dying breed. We don't have enough positive influence online.
Yeah.
So if you can dedicate your company, your page, your business to being a positive leader,
Yeah.
only good things can happen.
G.
Yes, give free information.
Oh.
Now, this is hard if you are a service provider. So, Andre, you provide a service, you
Yeah.
teach English lessons online. Now,
And Bahasa Indonesia.
and Bahasa Indonesia, oh yeah, of course. Boss, I keep using
yeah.
English. But it's
That's okay. Yes, e-commerce. Yeah. Yeah. I used to be an English teacher, but now I'm switching because I see the market is even bigger
Yes.
by teaching Bahasa Indonesia. If I teach English,
Smart.
maybe the students only local. But now, because I'm doing Bahasa Indonesia, I teach Bahasa Indonesia, so my students can come from all over the world. And Glow is one of them. And it's an honor for me to be working together. We just met last year. the end of
November.
November.
Yeah-ish.
Yeah, and then we start communicating.
Yes.
And
Gosh.
here we are.
Yeah.
The
now
power
it's
of
the internet and
digital
digital
marketing.
the magic of digital
Yes.
marketing.
Yeah, and then what I give is free trials.
Yes, yes, but and it's
Yeah.
it's so fascinating just
Yeah.
knowing like because now even being in
Yeah.
Bali and practicing with the locals, like I'm just like, wow, this started online with the
Yes.
website and
Yeah.
it was your video. So on the
Yeah.
website you can say hello, I'm a
Yeah.
here, and I watched that. That's marketing,
right. Yeah.
and that allowed me to feel safe and comfortable saying, yeah, I trust him.
Yeah.
You know, and I would love to help you with your Bahasa Indonesia journey.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, but that's marketing. So this is so fun. This is so cool.
Nice.
And giving free information, like a lot of people think like, oh, you have to pay me for anything. But yeah, that website gives a free trial lesson.
Yeah.
And it's like your opportunity to kind of show what you can do
Yeah.
for a student. So give free information and allow people to see what you can do.
That's true. Yeah.
The I, illustrate your words. Now, we are a very visual, I think, race population.
Yeah.
We like to see examples and pictures. And even now, as I'm talking to you with words, maybe for some people I'm talking too fast or my accent isn't very good. But the fact that you can see the words on the screen, it makes you say, I can understand. Even if, no matter what she's saying, I can see it and
Yeah.
it's good.
That's right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's important that you illustrate your words. No matter what your message is, no matter what you're trying to convey to your audience or potential customers, find a way to visualize or illustrate what you need them to understand. Last but not least, copy what's working for others. Now, one of my favorite books, I'm going to type it in the chat.
Yes,
And I
please.
believe it's actually, there should be a Bahasa Indonesia translation, but it's a very simple English book for anyone that wants to read it. But it's called Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. It is one of the top
Steal Like an
5
Artist.
books I've ever read on marketing and like marketing and creativity. It is a brilliant book. And I saw the title, I was like, no, I would never steal from people. Like, that's so bad, my integrity. But the book talks about how to do it ethically.
Yeah.
And it says, if someone has figured something out, why are you going to stress yourself out trying to reinvent the wheel? If this works, see how you can put it into your business, but change one thing. Change one thing to make it unique to yourself.
Yeah.
So that is a magic formula. Motivate your audience to action, act like a leader, give free information, illustrate your words, and then copy what's working for others. Again, it has been an honor and a pleasure to be here with you all. I don't know how much time we have left, but I would love to answer as many questions as I can.
Wow, thank you very much, Gloria. Everyone, if you're still there and then you've just witnessed what Glo has shared, please give your reactions. You can give hearts, thumbs ups on the screen.
Myself.
Yeah, so we can see how you're feeling. Wow, cool. Terima kasih banyak. Wow. We've got more than 300 participants on Zoom. That's wonderful.
Wow.
And then some others probably are watching through our YouTube channels. Obrolan T-commerce, always the first. Yeah. Okay, we're now coming to the most exciting part of the seminar. This is where you could get opportunity to learn more from our wonderful speaker of today's podcast. Go, Atenmo. Yeah, we've got questions. Yeah, from. Yeah,
I love some of these questions.
That's right. Yeah, so probably can start from. Yeah, Kadek Cynthia got a question there. Yeah, do you think as a digital marketer we should travel around the world to know the vibes of different countries or get inspiration of being a digital marketer?
No. So for me, I traveled because I was escaping the real world, I'll be honest. I started traveling when I was 22 because I didn't want a corporate job. And I also didn't want to live with my mom, who would tell me every day, go to school, be a doctor, be a lawyer. I sacrificed my life to come to America and you disappoint me. I was like, Mom, I love you, but I have to leave. And so I traveled to run away. I didn't know that I would use all of what I learned to put into my digital marketing business. But I think the best way that you can learn, again, is online. You don't have to travel to Jordan or Egypt to understand Jordanian or Egyptian culture. It's like people are posting that every single day. So I would definitely say figure out ways to diversify your network and your circle. If there are places that, I'm going to type another website in the chat, but I don't know how common it is, but meetup.com. When I was traveling, I would use that website a lot to meet up with different cultures that were living in different cities. So London, for example, they would host a dinner and it would be people from 30 countries in that one room. And it was so beautiful because I could learn directly what Dubai is like from an Emirati. So I think just making sure you're staying connected to other cultures and communities online.
That's
you
right.
don't need to travel.
Yeah, and commenting on your magic formula,
Yeah.
Gusti Agung Demas Kawiswara said, as for C, the copy thing, to put it simply, it's observe, copy, and modify.
Beautiful. Yes, that's exactly
it's
it.
It's a common saying around here. Yes. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Very good. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then coming up to the next question from Clara. Clara Eugenia Ponto. Yeah. Right now, every company or shop or small business is using social media as a promotion media, like Instagram and TikTok. But as we know, sometimes when we post our contents, it is not shown in our followers because of social media algorithm. Is there a solution to get around social media algorithm? We're talking about the percentage.
The percent. Oh, 10%. That's right. Yeah. So for most people,
related to this?
Yeah. For most people, only 10% of your audience is actually going to see your content online. So the best way to get around that, email marketing. So social media is a powerful tool, but email marketing is something that I'm actually friends with the guy who was the first person to use email to sell, and his name is Jeff Walker. And I'll write his book in the chat. I love reading. But his book is called Launch, and his name is Jeff Walker. And he basically mastered and created the concept of email marketing. And so what's nice about email is that no matter what happens to social media, if Mark Zuckerberg one day says, I'm going to erase Facebook, email will always be there. You
Yeah.
need email for your bank account. You need email for jobs, for school. Like, email will be around until
Yeah.
the end of time.
To sign up to any platform,
You need
cannot
email.
go without emails.
Sometimes for Wi-Fi, you need email. Public Wi-Fi at airports, you need email.
True.
So I think if you can start collecting emails, not by just saying, drop your email, please, but create a promotion or a strategy where you say,
Give free information, PDF or something.
yes,
Yeah.
like if you own a shop, you can say you get a 30% discount if you're on the email list. If you are someone, maybe you own a restaurant,
Yeah.
you can say anyone on the email list, you get a PDF of our top recipe or
Yeah.
something. But going back to the giving away free information,
Yeah.
like people will respect you more, and then they'll also come back to support you. So email marketing for sure is the best way to overcome the algorithm.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Next question from Gede Aditya. In your opinion, Glow, what is an effective way for new business pioneers
Yes.
by increasing product awareness, such as creating educational content and conducting promotions so that potential customers immediately make purchases?
That's, it's always interesting because
Yeah.
in the US, there was a study done that said it takes people on average 7 marketing touches before they make a purchasing decision. So they need 7 exposures before they're ready to buy. So I don't know what that customer journey looks like for your individual business,
Yeah.
but let's say one exposure is an Instagram story. Second exposure is an email campaign.
Yeah.
Third exposure is a feed. Fourth exposure is a DM. Fifth exposure is another email. Then it's another story. And then finally, when someone is ready to buy, we don't always know if it's timing or funds. Sometimes someone is waiting for the finances to come back and buy. And then sometimes people just don't need what you have to offer yet. But when they do need it, they'll remember you because of those 7 marketing touches. So making sure no matter where someone is on a customer roadmap journey, and that's what we call it, we use that term analogy a lot, customer roadmap journey, and I'll just type it in the chat. So if you don't have that built out yet, I would consider making one in your business. And a customer roadmap journey is all about breaking up the stages that someone has before they end a sale in your business. So first thing is obviously exposure or awareness of what you have to offer. And then in the middle, that's going to be engagement, that's going to be promotions, that's going to be content strategy, that's going to be live events, like whatever you're doing to engage with your community back. And then eventually you get to that last step where it's the sale. So what do you want your customer roadmap journey to look like? And what questions will they be asking at every step of the journey? Okay, if I'm trying to sell this phone, I'm going to be asking, how much memory does it have? Is it waterproof? Can I use it? Can I take photo? Like
The camera.
I'm gonna have so many questions. So as people have those questions, you want to be answering that across the entire roadmap of the customer journey. So always be thinking in advance of what customers will be asking. That way, if you're providing that information up front, all of their excuses negated.
So you're applying like design thinking process as well in your marketing.
Yeah. It's almost like, the reason I love marketing so much, it's like it's almost like a game. It's like, how fast can I get someone to realize that I have exactly what they need? It's like, okay, I want to see how long it takes them to understand that what they've been looking for is right here. But it's fun because you get to understand.
Enjoy and then know the strategy as well.
Enjoy the process because obviously you need the money to sustain the business and to grow.
Yeah.
But like if it becomes only about the money, or if you lose focus of like the passion and the enjoyment, it's going to get very frustrating. So figure out ways to also have fun with the content, with the marketing, with the promotions, and especially with your content. Sometimes be funny, like be laid back, be goofy. It doesn't always have to be serious. Because if you get someone to laugh, sometimes they're like, oh, maybe I want to buy from them.
All right. Yeah. Okay, Glow. Guys, if you have questions, and then probably you're shy to type your questions in English, please feel free to type your questions in Bahasa Indonesia. I'd be very happy to translate your question.
I
Kalau
will
ada
translate for Andre, yes.
pertanyaan boleh ya diketik dalam bahasa Indonesia ya. So that's fine. Glo will be happy to answer. We're waiting for their question, Glo. I'd
Okay,
like
perfect,
to ask you.
Yes, please.
We've been talking about digital marketing and the magic of digital marketing. So my simple question, what have you been marketing and
Ooh.
has earned you a lot of money?
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yeah.
We want
Yeah.
to talk about money? Yeah. Okay.
We're talking about real business now.
Let's go there. Let's talk. I almost want to bring up the slide about breaking down, like, you know, the 5 million rupiah thing.
Oh yes, yeah.
But I'll address it like this.
Yeah.
I've made most of my income online through ebooks. And again, I dropped the website in the chat, canva.com. And so what I decided to do is say, okay, I have all of this experience and skill sets in business building, entrepreneurship, marketing, storytelling, branding, influencer marketing, like all of these areas. And at the end of the day, people will be in my Instagram DMs, oh, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? How did you do this? And all I did was collect all of those questions. And when people would ask, I would give them, obviously I wouldn't ignore them. I would be like, oh, you know, here's a little way to help. And so people would ask me questions in my Instagram and I would answer them. And then eventually I just got smart and I collected all the questions and I turned it into an ebook. And now when people ask me the same questions, because again, evergreen, people will always have the same 10 to 20 questions about every business you can imagine. So I just turned it into a book.
Yeah.
And most people also don't have the time to finish this long book.
Yeah.
So all of my books you can finish in less than 2 hours. And it makes it easy to find the answers that they need.
Yeah.
I give them resources, I give them like links, I give them PDFs, there's documents. And yeah, now when anyone asks me that same question, I can link them to the book. And the book, I make it affordable as well. My cheapest one is $10 US, so 150K Indonesian rupiah.
Yeah.
And all the way up to thousands. But
Yeah.
I think it's important that you create a product that is accessible for every budget.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that some of my information was affordable. Like even book lists. I give out my book list for free, like book recommendations. But like I try to create a product based on the questions that people ask. And pretty soon, and I'll type the other website I
Yes,
use.
please. Yeah.
Shopify.com. That's where I list, but another good one is Gumroad.com. And that's where you upload your ebooks to. And now the beauty of, again, social media is that I went viral in 2020. So 200,000 new people found my page. And what's the first thing that they did? They went to my link and bought my books. I had no idea that that would happen. There was no way for me to control, like, okay, I'm going to write the ebooks because on this day, 500,000 people will find. There's no way to know. That's why you have to do the work before the people come. Because when they come, you have the potential to earn a lot of money.
That's right. So you don't have to wait until you get customers, people
Yes.
wanting to buy the products from you.
Do the work now.
Yeah. So yeah, this is like your kind of digital assets as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all about assets and ownership.
Yes. Yeah. Nice.
question.
Yeah. So there's one question from Chaya Dewi again. Yeah. What are the next and fresh upstanding social media platforms other than Instagram and TikTok?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry that we missed you, Niwayan.
Yeah.
Maaf ya.
You can't think of.
Well, because I don't know if Clubhouse reached Indonesia the way it did in the US. Do you remember Clubhouse in 2020?
Clubhouse.
The app Clubhouse, was it a thing-ish?
Yeah.
It was huge. I think at one point they were worth $6 billion US.
Wow.
$6 billion. That's how big it got in the US.
Wow.
And then the world opened up and then they So that's why I don't think there's going to be anything else. I really think Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Here's the thing about Cornerstone content. You either need to have a YouTube a blog, or a podcast. Those are the only three types of platforms that can be SEO driven. A YouTube, you can find it on Google.
Yeah.
A podcast, you could also find it on Google. A blog, you can be found on Google. But Instagram, they're starting to be synced with Google, but it's not so much.
Yeah.
So you need a YouTube, a podcast, or a blog to really SEO optimize your business. But I honestly think I wouldn't be looking for the next big platform. I would continue growing your Instagram and TikTok because that's what's working now, and I think that's what's going to stay at the top in 10 years.
All right. Yeah. So next question.
Yes.
Yeah. As you think, digital marketer will build someone to be a multitasking person?
You know, there's two ways that I look at this. Some people say if you multitask, you never get the chance to do one thing really good.
Really good. Yeah.
You're kind of scatterbrained.
Yeah.
But if you're someone, when you were a kid, do you remember in school, like sometimes people would have to work really hard for something, but you could do it in 10 minutes.
Right.
And so if you are the person who can get away with like someone else's best work is like your medium work.
At medium work, yeah.
So I knew at a young age that I could multitask because I knew that I didn't require as much focus as other people did.
Right.
At the same time, I think focusing on one task at a time is important. But digital marketing does require so many skills that I would understand why you would need to multitask.
Yeah, but you can also do things one at a time.
Yeah.
To make sure it's going to be a good piece of work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Saya perlu praktik. Can I try to read?
Yes, you want to practice?
You all don't
reading?
make fun of me. No,
Yeah, so Glo, yes,
Masih belajar ya? Okay.
Glo will be reading Gede Aditya's questions in Bahasa Indonesia. Please, I'll be helping you to
I'm
translate.
so nervous. Thank you. Okay. Menurut Anda, apakah algoritma media sosial TikTok lebih sulit
Dibandingkan
Instagram? Karena saya pikir para kreator harus benar membuat konten yang unik agar bisa memasuki
for your page. Yeah.
For your page, okay. Secara general.
General. Yes. Yeah. It's English term.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Dibandingkan Instagram
yang bisa viral hanya dengan sebuah hashtag. Di mana saya harus mempelajari semua algoritma itu. Apakah ada metode khusus?
Yeah. Khusus, yeah, special method. Is there a special method? Yeah, so Gede Aditya is asking you, according to you, or in your opinion, is the algorithm of TikTok as one of the social media is more complicated compared to Instagram? Because he thinks that the creators have to really create a unique content to for their FYP in general, and compared to Instagram that can go viral with only one hashtag. So where can he learn about these algorithms? Is there a specific or special method on this?
You know, I think I want to make sure the website. Okay, so I'm going to give out one website in the chat. It's called talkboard.com. And this website lists all of the trending sounds, which can be used for either TikTok or Instagram. Now, one thing that I don't recommend is if you're not a dancer, don't try
to do TikTok dance.
It's so awkward. It's so strange.
Yeah.
It's so weird to watch. I always try to recommend people to do what feels natural to them. Regarding the algorithm, it will constantly change. And I have friends that work at Instagram, and the funny thing that they say is even the developers of Instagram don't understand their own algorithm. So it's such a beast that it's hard to undo. It's so tangled up. So the best thing that you can do, or the best growth strategy for Instagram, is to rely on people sharing your content. When I grew 200,000 followers in a few days, it wasn't because the algorithm was like, or I wasn't creating reels, it was because people saw my content, it was good, and they shared it to their stories. And so I was now able to get all of this exposure from other people's audiences because they shared it. And all I was doing, again, educating. I was giving free information and I was educating.
Yeah.
That, I think, is going to be the best growth strategy.
So education is the power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the algorithms will always mess you up. If you focus on them, it will be a frustrating journey. So focus on giving out just free value, free education, and make it relevant to whatever you're selling. If you're like, well, I sell t-shirts, what do I teach online? Show people the process, or teach people how to start a t-shirt business. Like, maybe become known for that.
Nice, yeah. Anyway, there's a comment from Agung Demas Kawiswara. She said, "You've got lovely accent when reading that question." Yeah. Wonderful. Wow.
I tried.
Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah. Anyway, any other question, guys? Yeah. We can end the Q&A in 5-10 minutes. So if you do have questions, please don't be shy. Just type in your questions in the chat, and Gloria will be happy to answer your questions. Yeah.
More than happy.
More than happy. Well, Gloria, other than this, you also have experience not only in social media and digital marketing, but also in coaching. Yes. Yeah. And then you also give talks to big audience. Yeah. Would you mind sharing your experiences in doing this?
So the beautiful thing about digital marketing is that it exposed me to a world that I didn't know existed. And public speaking for many people can be terrifying. And even just talking to people on the internet can seem like a scary thing, because it's like they're judging me, or my accent is bad. But honestly, for me, I don't even think about it, because I get so excited to share what I know. So motivational speaking, I've spoken and hosted events around the world. That's so much fun for me. Anywhere from digital marketing to entrepreneurship to personal development to helping people chase their dreams. I love talking about all of that. I've also done digital marketing consulting with companies. Let's say they worked with me as an individual, and then they wanted to continue working with me. They would hire me as a consultant. They would fly me to their country to meet with the CEO and all the team and the marketers. And I would basically train them, train them on how to use social media. I've also done social media management. So a company says, we need Instagram, but we don't want to work on it. So we'll pay you to run our Instagram for us. So that there's also potential in that. You might also find an opportunity to get paid to help people create their own social media pages, or to help them run it, promote it. And then my very first business was a photography business. So I take all of my own photos, and photography is so fun because it allows me to, again, market whatever product, services that I have. It's easy. So if there's a skill that I would recommend anybody get good at, it's definitely photography. Because it's a gift that keeps on giving.
I like the term. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Photography. And everybody loves taking photos. Why not making into something that
a side business?
Side business or hustle.
Exactly, a side hustle.
Side hustle,
And then use the money you make from photography to help fund the operations of your actual business.
All right. So there's one question from Gusti Made Raditya Adi Wiguna.
Coba.
So you can read, please. Let's listen to Glow reading this in Bahasa Indonesia.
We're trying, we're learning, and I'm not afraid to sound stupid.
No, you're smart.
I'm learning. Coba berikan langkah-langkah memulai digital marketing untuk pemula.
Pemula is beginners, and langkah-langkah means steps. Memulai is the start.
That's a new word for me.
So please give some steps to start digital marketing for beginners. Maybe you have some tips on this.
Yes.
What should we do first?
First one is find inspiration on YouTube. And the reason I recommend YouTube is because YouTube is one of the few platforms where people will dedicate their entire channel to teaching you anything that you want to know. Most of what I learned about, online and marketing, like before I went to school, I actually learned it on YouTube. So in terms of digital marketing, I would say follow one account that you resonate with their style or maybe their energy, their voice, and follow them and only take information from them, because a lot of times we get marketing information from here and here and here and here.
Okay, and then we easily get distracted and not focusing.
Well, and you can't use too many strategies because it's like his strategy will work only if you do it this way. So now let's say I'm trying to make a marketing cake and I'm taking sugar and pepper from someone, and now I took babi guling and satay ayam and nazi and gula. It's just I'm taking all of these ingredients and it doesn't make sense. You can't make a cake because you're taking too many flavors from people. So follow one person that you're like, okay, this is going to be my guru. They're going to teach me everything. Or I really like their style. So that's the first step. Second, I would say there's so much valuable information in books. I'm going to share my very top favorite marketing book in the chat.
Yes, please.
This is Marketing by Seth Godin. I think this book, I read it every 2 years. It is the best book I've ever read on marketing, understanding your audience, and understanding what they think before they buy from you. So powerful. I'm going to give a quick example of what he shared in the book. He said, when you're going to, let's say, buy a hammer. Is there, what's the word for hammer in Bahasa Indonesia?
Palu.
Balu.
Palu or hammer. We just say hammer.
Hammer.
Hammer. Maybe
This is-
sounds similar.
I'm getting free lessons right now. And that's why I'm asking.
Cheeky. Nakal.
Sneaky. So,
Okay.
let's say you're going to the store to buy a hammer because you're trying to hang a picture on your wall in your home. And so you need to buy a hammer, you need the nail, you need to do this. Now, when you go to buy the hammer, all of these companies will say, strongest hammer, biggest hammer, coolest hammer. You don't care about that. You just want the picture on the wall. So sometimes when you're marketing to your audience, humble yourself. I'm the best, I'm the coolest. All they want is help with one aspect. So sometimes you need to simplify your message because it's not about the hammer. It's about hanging the picture on the wall. So you really have to think about, what does my audience really want? What does my customer really need? Super important. And then last but not least, in regards to beginner steps, is try something for at least 30 days. When we think about strategies and systems, we try it once and we give up. Like, oh, I tried to post a reel, 2 people liked it, it doesn't work. No, try it for 30 days. Whatever system or strategy you want to use, give it a solid effort, at least 30 days, and see what happens from there. Great question, Stickamers.
Bagus sekali.
Bagus sekali.
Terima kasih. There's another question in Bahasa Indonesia. So this is going to be our last question, unfortunately. So let's practice Bahasa Indonesia. Some more Bahasa Indonesia, Glo.
Praktik.
Silakan.
Menurut Anda, apakah fitur promosi yang disediakan sosial media sudah efektif atau perlu dikembangkan?
So in your opinion,
bahasa
Inggrisnya. Okay, bahasa Inggrisnya. In your opinion, are the promotional features available on social media have been effective or still need to be developed?
Personal opinion, okay? Disclaimer, personal opinion. They need to be developed. I've never relied on ads or promotional features to get my message across. I think the strongest strategy for your message and your marketing and your business to reach people is to freely educate. Okay? Education, again, is going to be the only thing that people will always be searching for. When you want someone to buy something, they don't want to be sold. No one likes to be sold to.
True.
Even if they need your thing, they don't want, oh, buy it, but they don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
So you have to bait them by giving them free information, free value, engaging content, do some storytelling.
Yeah.
But it's almost like
Building connection with them as well.
yes, it's about connection. It's not really about selling. And marketing is almost anti-marketing. You have to pretend you're not selling anything at all. And
Yeah.
that's how you get people to stay and buy.
Wow, yeah. Marketing is like anti-marketing.
I'm giving myself a pat on the back because that was a great answer. This is unscripted, everyone. This is Glow Unscripted. Just
Wow.
speaking freely from my experience.
Amazing, amazing. Wow, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Everyone, I hope you've learned a lot of things today with what Glow has shared from the beginning of our podcast, obrolan Stikomers hari ini. Ada banyak tips, banyak informasi, banyak ilmu dan juga strategi yang Glow share hari ini. Semoga bermanfaat. And on behalf of Stikom Bali and also the sponsor of this program, Sumba Cendekia.
Yes.
Okay, I'm the founder of Sumba Cendekia. Just for your information, yeah, I would like to say thank you very much to all team at ITB, Miss Derry, who's been with us, and all the team here, Bli Adi and Bli Rudy, yeah, everyone, yeah, you're amazing, and yeah.
Yes, Matur Suksma.
Matur Suksma, terima kasih banyak, and we're looking forward to seeing you again, and then we'll make sure Glow can share the slides, yeah, with you all.
Absolutely.
So we're looking forward to seeing you again.
Yes.
How do you say in bahasa?
Sampai jumpa.
Lagi,
Yeah, sampai jumpa
Stikomers
lagi.
semuanya on another podcast.
Yes.
Have a lovely afternoon.
Bye.
Matur Suksma.
Matur Suksma.